virus that the CDC says has killed hundreds of millions of birds over the past couple of years is now infecting cattle in several states.
And at this time, California is not one of those states. CBS 47's Karen Cruz Orduña joins us live in studio with the precautions to protect the health of cattle herds here in the valley. Karen.
Well, Catherine and Brian, the UC Davis Veterinary Medicine Teaching and Research Center is aware of the outbreak of the avian flu in dairy cows, and it is important for dairy producers to be extra careful right now.
The avian flu, also known as bird flu, is caused by the virus called H5N1. And this virus is pretty common among wild birds. And so usually wild birds infect other species like poultry.
The Fresno County Public Health Department has been closely monitoring the avian flu. Dr. Terry Leyenbauer with UC Davis Veterinary Medicine Teaching and Research Center in Tulare is doing the same. He says not only has the virus impacts birds, now there is an outbreak of avian flu in cows in several states.
These initial herds were seen primarily in the Texas, New Mexico, and Kansas region. Since that time, there have been additional individual herds detected in Michigan, Idaho, and Ohio.
This virus impacts milk. Once the milk is infected, it needs to be thrown away, causing a loss in revenue.
But about 10%. And it's usually the cattle that are a little bit older compared to the younger cattle will stop eating. And so the milk production drops. And so that milk from these affected cattle does not enter into the food chain.
The professor says even though there are no reported cases in California with cattle, it is important to stay vigilant.
They would want to be very careful about bringing in any new animals, particularly animals from states where there have been herds identified as being infected. The other aspect is a practical measures to make sure that the feed supplies for their cattle is kept so that it's kept clean, and as much as possible restrict access to that feed and when practical to any birds.
The good news, the overall threat of the virus to people remains low. But Fresno County Public Health says workers who work with chickens or cows should take precautions just in case.
They should take some precautions like wearing goggles or an N95 mask, wearing gloves, and just important to wash their hands regularly.
The California Department of Food and Agriculture has updated its requirements for importing cattle into California. All states that have infected cattle from avian flu must get a thorough inspection by an accredited veterinarian. If all the requirements are met, they are given a certificate. Now, the certificate will no longer be good for 30 days. It has been reduced to 7 days. Live in studio, Karen Cruz Orduña, CBS 47 Eyewitness News.